Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2017 and our European Journeyman series with Leverkusen. Now we're into the start of our first full season at the club. The start to the Bundesliga has not been as good as it could have been. 2 draws and 1 win so far, but last episode we did beat Real Madrid 2-0 and did follow that up with a win at home against Schalke, and we really need to test our mettle today away against Bayern Munich. It's one of the biggest games of our season, and we'll also take on Inter Milan in the Champions League later in this episode. Other games against Freiburg and Köln. So quite a tough episode all in all, but this game is probably the biggest by far because it have such big implications on the final positions in the league table if we are challenging for that title. Obviously we need to pick our form up if we're going to do that, but we do have a few players returning, so we have a full strength team for the first time in a little while, with Daniel Lewis up front trying to continue his goal scoring form. Then it's Leon Bailey on the left. Erwin Enriquez is coming in on the right with Betty and Havertz in the middle. Doumbia in defensive midfield. Then Douglas Santos, Traub, Lucas Rucas and Henriks in the back four with Bernd Leno in goal. Lafont sends the ball forward for Bayern Munich. Header won by Santos, but not challenged in midfield there, Diakate. Eggestein puts it out to Barn in a good position. He's got a man at the back post arriving, and it's taken less than 6 minutes for Nadim Amiri to give Bayern Munich the lead. Well, there's not been a highlight since that 6-minute goal, and here come Bayern Munich again on the attack. They've been much the better team today. They push the ball out to the goal scorer Amiri. It's back into Eggestein, and it was straight at Leno, but he's only been able to touch it into the back of the net. 2 highlights, 2 goals for Bayern Munich, and we are going to lose a very important game here. Leno plays the ball onto Rucas. Here's Traub. Forward to Betty. If we can get a goal now, it may not be game over. It's Enriquez. Forward to Castro, who's come on for Lewis. Castro with what is shamefully probably the best chance we've had in this match. Rucas sends the ball out to Douglas Santos. Betty into Geis. Forward to Castro. Good position. He's turning. He's still going to goal, Castro, and it's bounced back from Lafont, but nobody following up there for the goal. Geis plays the ball forward to Castro, who's running at the defence. He's passed one player and he's fouled in the area there. We've got a penalty with about 20 minutes left to play. It's going to be Geis who takes a penalty, and it's caught by Lafont. It's not even saved by him. It is plucked out of the sky by Lafont to keep it at 2-0. Rucas plays the ball forward to Enriquez, but it's cut out by Alaba. Now Zimmerman back outside. Henriks picks up the ball, and he's found Castro, who's looked better up front since coming on for us. Enriquez slowly walking it down the right-hand side and then just giving up the ball far too easily. Diakate over the top looking for Eggestein, but it is cut out by the defenders. Santos forward to Betty in a good position. Now Castro having a run at goal. Castro, he's in on the area but straight at Lafont, who has been impenetrable today. Douglas Santos tries to put the ball in, but it's cleared away. Traub has it. Into Doumbia. Now Geis, forward to Castro, good position, and he does find the bottom corner. Finally, we break Bayern Munich down. We've got 10 minutes to try and find this winner. Castro on the ball, but straight at Lafont. That sums up our game, really. 11 shots on target. We were actually the better team, especially the last 20 minutes, but we weren't able to get that second goal. The 2 highlights, 2 goals thing for Bayern Munich really did the job for them, and it means that they do move above us. They're 2 points clear of us now, and we are sitting down in 9th place after 4 games. Well, we need to start getting wins in the Bundesliga sometime soon, and hopefully we can do that at home against Freiburg. We are going to be playing with Lewis up front and Castro starting on the left wing. Bailey moves to the right with Geis, Havertz and Doumbia in midfield. Then it's Douglas Santos, Jensch, Rucas and Schiel in the back four with Leno in goal. Geis with the free kick sent to the back post. It comes out to Havertz. He sends it back to Jensch. Ball into Havertz again, finds Lewis. He loses possession, and it's also played in Kowalczyk, who's in on goal. He was past our defence, and he's found the back of the net there. That's the tamest goal I've seen us concede in quite some time. That barely looked like it was going to cross the line. Maximin puts the corner in, and there's a foul in the penalty area as well. We've given away a spot kick. We're going to go 2-0 down at home, surely. Up steps Saint Maximin. And he does find the back of the net. It's now 2-0 to Freiburg, who we lost to the last time we played them as well. But this is quite embarrassing. Corner from St. Maximin, cleared out by Havertz. Bison back, gets to the ball. Geis wins it for us. Can we counter-attack? He's switching the flank to Castro very well. Castro cuts inside. Plays it over to Geis again. Back to Rukas. Now Havertz. Freiburg have got back well. Geis switches out to Schiel. He puts the ball in early and it's gone straight through but caught by the keeper. Corner from Geis. Looks like we get into this game now. Rukas in there. Can't win it. It's Bailey. Tries to turn into the defenders area. 2 players on him. I'm not sure why he chose that decision. Ball long over the top. Hunted down by Douglas Santos, who keeps the ball as well. Plays it back to Leno. Now Rukas. Forward to Havertz. Good ball into Lewis. He should have Castro to his left. He's gone for goal himself and it's easily saved. Jordan with the throw. In towards Kovalchik. Now Mefer. Diallo. Are we at risk of conceding a third at home? It's Saint Maximin. Tackled by Douglas Santos. Here's Jench. Forward to Betty. Skips the tackle beautifully. Havertz forward. Ball cut away. Mefer back to Jordan. Tackled again there by Bailey. Now Castro cutting inside. He's back up front and it's another tame shot from distance. Well, we've barely put up an attempt to come back into this game. The ball is cleared away. Doumbia's lazy strike goes nowhere and it ends 2-0 at home to Freiburg. And that really is absolutely terrible. We're now down in 13th place with 5 points from 5 games. We're 8 points off Hamburg at the top, 5 points off Bayern Munich. And this is a worst start to a league season I can remember us having in this series. And we are going to have to change something if we're going to start to get wins together. Well, after losing those 2 games in a row, we are now in a position where we've had to change an awful lot. Now, this tactic may look a little bit unusual to a lot of you, but it might look familiar to some of you. This is a tactic that has been put out there by the Reckonist as a potential game-breaking tactic for FM17. And given we're in pretty dire straits down in 13th place in the league, if ever we were going to employ a tactic like this, this is the time to do it. I've been a big fan of the Reckonist stuff for quite a while. If you're interested in seeing the details of this tactic, I'll put a link to his video about it down below for you to take a look at. He talks about all the player roles and team instructions that you might need and all the tactical information. You can also download it from Steam, I think. So I'll put a link to his channel down there in the video to do with this tactic, but it has gotten some very good results from all of the people I've seen use it, so I'm going to give it a try here. I know a lot of you don't like that I don't do my own tactics, but you only have to watch the start of my Newcastle experiment to see why I don't do the tactics very much. It's not where I get enjoyment from in the game. I enjoy the buying and selling players and managing the team, putting the team together and going for the trophies. That's what I like to focus on. So we're going to give this tactic a try, and as I always say, if you have good ideas for other tactics for us to take a look at, do let me know down in the comments, because we don't really have the players for this tactic, but if it comes off, we'll have to make the players fit the tactic. So we're going to use this Inter Milan game as our first test for it, which is a bit of a risk, but I've just not been impressed by our usual tactic of late. And so for this one, the way it works is you have 3 centre-backs, you've got a central defensive stopper, another one to the right, and then a ball-playing defender who will push forward through the middle. You have 2 inverted wing-backs playing across the back 5, with Betty and Doumbia in midfield, one as a roaming playmaker and the other one as a deep-line defensive playmaker. And then up front, you've got 3 shadow strikers, all 3 on attack, but one of them shoots less often, the other 2 shoot more often, which will hopefully create a few chances. This does mean that both Castro and Lewis are on the bench, but I will be retraining them as shadow strikers if this tactic does start to work out. But right now it's a pretty big throw of the dice early in the season, but I'm hoping that this can be a little bit like Conte's change and it can help us save our league campaign and get us back in the mix where we belong. Lambert with a corner put into the middle, headed out by Rukas. Picked up by Soto, puts the ball back in, but Leno does catch it. You can see it's been a very tame game so far. Not a lot of chances for either side. Inter Milan there with the first highlight of the game, but the ball is played forward. Here's Bailey, back to Jench. Now Henriks into Enriquez. Ball trying to get that over the top for Havertz. Didn't quite work out. But here we are again with Bailey. Havertz to his left. Bailey's gone for goal, but easily saved by Ederson. Free kick from Havertz just before half-time. Bailey heads the ball on, but it is cleared away. Here's Olivieri. Being pressured by one of our players. Now Lemos can cause problems. Into Gavazzi, Nouri over the top, easily cut out by Jensch. You can see the defenders there getting back across when they needed to. It's then put forward and won by Douglas Santos. Enriquez goes past one player. He then loses possession but wins it back again. Ball runs to Betty. We're just swamping them at the moment. Bailey's shot hits the woodwork and is headed away, so close to that goal right before half time. Enriquez with the header. Here's Havertz. Into Enriquez again. Ball back to Betty. Out to Henriks. He plays it into Bailey. Betty again. Onto Havertz. Ball slipped through to Enriquez. Onto Bailey, but straight at Ederson again. It's the finishing of these front three letting us down at the moment. Douglas Santos with the ball. Back to Traub. He puts it into Doumbia. Havertz. Back to Betty. Now Bailey. Slips it in. Enriquez is onto it. He's in on goal and he finds the back of the net. We're leading into Milan with this new tactic. Havertz down to Santos. Now Doumbia. Ball runs to Enriquez. Slip through to Bailey, who's gone for goal first time and has hit the post, hitting the woodwork for the second time in this game. Ederson sends the ball out. Easily claimed by Henrik, so has time to header it down to himself. He's being pressured, but the ball played back to Leno. You can see in the stats how much we've dominated this game. And here's Traub. He plays it back to Leno. Ball sent forward but given straight to Gavazzi. What was Leno doing there? Lambert's in on goal and it's hit the woodwork, or Leno has saved it. Either way, we've had a lucky escape. Corner from Enriquez. Sent into the near post. Rukas was in there. Lewis down. Jensch in the area. The ball ricochets around but is cleared away by Inter Milan. Another corner taken by Enriquez but headed straight back to him. He takes a touch. Tries to get it back in but Ederson picks it up. Well, there is the full-time whistle. It has finished 1-0 to us. A game we've dominated away from home against Inter Milan. A really, really good performance from the team with this new tactic, which means we've now beaten Inter Milan and Real Madrid. We've got 2 games against Panathinaikos to come, but that should pretty much assure our place in the next round of the Champions League. Well, after winning against Inter Milan, despite not having the best team for this formation, I have to try it again here in the Bundesliga against Köln. We are going to let Franco Castro start up front though in this one, even though he's really not suited to this shadow striker position. I think his finishing means he has to be essentially played up there. But it's really funny seeing Castro and Doumbia both playing alongside each other at the start of a game. We've also got Havertz continuing up there in the number 10 role. Betty is partnered by Mikulacak this time, with Douglas Santos on the left, Henriks on the right, and then Traub, Rukas and Jensch all still in the back line. Leno is in goal. I'm hoping that we can really start to build a team around this tactic if it does take off. It'd be nice to change the tactic we've been using for a while, but we need to be getting wins right now. So we can't wait for this tactic to take hold. It needs to start working right away. Right, it's nearly half time here. There's still just been that one tame effort from Castro, but here's Mikulacak. Now Traub. Betty picks up the ball. Rukas. Forward to Mikulacak. Castro to Betty. Into Havertz. Looking for that fine movement of the team. It's Castro over the top for Havertz. He's got a man over. It's Doumbia of all people and he strikes the woodwork. Last seconds corner here from Betty, but it is cleared away. Back towards Betty though. Can he get the ball in? It's cleared out. Castro with a free kick. Nearly at the hour mark. It comes back to him. He finds Rukas. Now Betty. Douglas Santos slips it into Doumbia, who finds the near post gap. We brought him in as a defensive midfielder, but Idrissa Doumbia has just finished a striker's goal. Malé with the throw. Ball sent out into midfield. Weiser picks it up. Hector in, but Traub clears it down the field. Backboard. On to Weiser. Now Hector. Back to Weiser again. Inside to Kappa. Ball through and just lobbed over the keeper. A stunning finish from Thibault. Just absolutely dinked it over at the last second and there was nothing Leno could do. But we are kicking straight off from that goal, looking for an instant reply. It's Traub with the ball. Pushes it forward to Douglas Santos. He slips it into Betty. Ball on to Havertz. Now Doumbia into Castro, and he has instantly replied for us to give us back our lead. That is the benefit of playing a striker out of position further up the field. Free kick from Betty. In towards Traub, and it's come straight back off the line. Luckily for them, they had a man there, but with 15 minutes to go, we are still pushing for another goal. Just 5 minutes left in this match as we look for a crucial win over Köln. It's Henrichs on the ball, now Castro. There is an option over the top if they look for it. Castro loses possession though. Malay bringing it forward, but Castro wins it back. Geis, Castro, Doumbia looking over for Schiel. He puts it into Lewis, slipped in beautifully for Geis, who finishes it off for 3-1. What a reverse pass from Lewis that was, and it is now 3-1 to us. Well, there is the full-time whistle. Another good win for us. It looks like the tactical change has worked absolute wonders for us. And those 3 points take us up to 8th place, just 1 point behind Köln. Although we are still 8 points off Hamburg after just 6 games. But thankfully, we have our second win of the season in the Bundesliga. Well, there's no doubt that this tactic is very, very makeshift for the team that we've got, but it's delivered us 2 wins after losing 2 in a row with our old tactic, and I think at the moment I'm tempted to stick with it, but I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on it, because obviously we're playing without a striker, but I think that I'm going to try and retrain Castro and Lewis to just play in these positions. I mean, Doumbia can do a job up there, Havertz seems at home, and hopefully we can bring in another couple of players who might be okay up there. Leon Bailey can play there as well, so I think we do have options, but it's not ideal to be switching the tactic immediately after the transfer window's closed. So do let me know what you think of this in the comments, and also let me know or go and subscribe to the Reckonist channel. Go and watch his video if you want to be able to replicate this tactic to yourself, for yourself. It has got some fantastic returns for other players, so I'm hoping it can do the same for us. And it has turned around our form somewhat after 2 defeats. Now, next time we will have a slightly easier run of matches. We'll be taking on Hertha, Panathinaikos, Bochum, and Hertha again in the DFB Pokal second round. So that is an option for us to climb back up the table a little bit with 6 more points. Hopefully we can put ourselves in total control of our Champions League group by beating Panathinaikos as well, and also have a crack at the Pokal. So a lot to look forward to. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed the weird tactic that we started to employ. Subscribe if you want to see how we get on next time, but until next time, see ya.